It's a beautiful Saturday morning, and what better way is there than to spend a beautiful beginning to the weekend with your favorite bite in the whole wide world? I got tons of news for you guys again this week. Blade & Soul's new Archer class, new gameplay footage for Chronicles of Elyria, Caravan Stories finally launching, and yes, Lost Ark. So sit back, take a bite out of your no doubt delicious breakfast, and let's get through this week's Weekly Byte of MMORPG news. Before we jump into today's video, I want to ask you guys a question. Are you in the market for a new game to play? Are you looking for something fun, something new and exciting? Then today's sponsor might interest you. Recently, I did a small Let's Play series on Pagan Online, a brand new co-op action RPG by Wargaming. It's a very beautiful, very challenging game that I honestly didn't expect going in. It's also perhaps one of the biggest action RPG releases of 2019. You pick your hero from a large selection of characters, you work through the campaign, you unlock additional heroes to play as, you fight your way through hordes of enemies and work with other players to accomplish feats that you couldn't alone. Cause trust me, from what I've seen, the kind of bosses you have to go up against, yeah, you're gonna want to bring a friend. Or you could tackle it alone like I did. The choice is ultimately yours. There are plenty of heroes to choose between, which makes the game all the more fun. Eldon, the dual-wielding badass, Hector, the little tinkerer, Valeria, your local sharpshooter, Lucian, the badass mage, Anya, the bodacious beauty, Istok, an old dude with a hammer, Demir, your blind vagrant, Masha, the epic dancer, Marok, the reaper of death, and Kingwitch, the barbarian. Now, if you're interested in playing Pagan Online, then go ahead and use my link in the description and the pinned comment to be taken right to the game to download it. After a plethora of delays, Aiming Inc., the team behind Caravan Stories, finally released the game onto PS4 earlier this week. While I have yet to actually play it personally, I have been highly anticipating this game since I saw it release in Japan back a couple years ago. The game is available completely in English with Japanese audio, meaning that there is no English dub of the game, but since most people seem to prefer Japanese dubs with English subtitles, I really don't think there's going to be all that many of you that find fault with this. Caravan Stories is completely free to play and is available for download right now, so if you haven't already, jump into the game and take it for a test run. While a lot pertaining to ArcheAge Unchained remains completely unknown, Gamigo are revealing additional information in small tidbits. Most recently, they spoke about releasing onto Steam. Initially, the game was announced to be launching concurrently onto Steam when the game goes live on September 30th, but as of last Friday, that seems like a bit less of a reality. And while the game might eventually hit Steam at one point or another, it looks as though the only way to play the game might be via the official launcher. Also worth noting is that Gamigo have indicated that they will be adding 2 servers per region for players, with the option of increasing this if more necessary. Whether or not it is remains to be seen, especially with WoW Classic having just launched and Astellia Online launching around the same time. It has been years, literal years, since I talked about Citadel Forged with Fire. I honestly didn't even know that the game was still in development, but boy was I wrong. The game is actually nearing its official launch on October 11th, releasing onto PC, Xbox One, and PS4. After examining the player population, it's safe to say that the player base has all but abandoned the game, which is likely the reason behind me not even being aware that this game was even still alive and kicking. Nevertheless, if a survival building game like Ark, Rust, or Dark and Light but with magic is your thing, I recommend taking a look. I tried it out years ago. I actually did a video on it on the channel years ago, so if you guys want to check that video out first and see if it's of interest to you, then you're more than welcome to. So I did an entire video dedicated to Moonlight Blade earlier this week, but I wanted to mirror my thoughts in the official news video as well. As I mentioned in both that video and in my Period Chronicles video, Nexon are having a lot of internal difficulties right now, resulting in the cancellation of several of their games, along with shutting down various internal gaming teams. Period Chronicles was one such game, Riders of Icarus was never renewed, and Moonlight Blade? Well, considering that we have yet to get any news pertaining to the game in over a year, and they're canceling PC games literally everywhere they can, it looks like Moonlight Blade could be heading for the axe as well. Although, do note that this is not 100% like officially confirmed, but it just, to me, it seems like it's becoming more likely the longer that this information drought, I guess, goes on. First things first, I am going to be doing a brand new Dauntless video this month sometime, so if you've been on the fence with regards to trying the game out, maybe that'll help sway your opinion. Dauntless has, up until this point, been in early access, but that all changes on the 26th. Version 1.0, titled Ether Unbound, will be going live on September 26th, which brings with it a large amount of new content. New weapons, brand new hulking behemoths to combat, a new bounty system, and tons of new planned updates for the future. There are millions of players currently playing, so I mean, if killing giant monsters with other people is your jam, then you'll probably love Dauntless. I did a video on Lineage 2M yesterday because of two reasons. The first reason is that it's being handled by a separate developer to Lineage 2 Revolution and therefore might not be nearly as bad. The second reason is that with the announcement came the unveiling of the Purple platform, a brand new South Korean service that plans on making future mobile games cross-compatible with both mobile devices and PC. Not much in the way of information has really been revealed as of currently, but Lineage 2M will be released on the Purple platform, being built for play on both PCs and mobile devices. This is a very interesting step for South Korea to take, in my opinion. Blade & Soul is finally launching their Zen Archer class next week. The class is expected to go live with the Storm of Arrows update releasing on September 18th, the update specifically being based around the class but not limited exclusively to it. According to NCSoft, players will be able to load their quivers as they get ready for the brand new Zen Archer class. They'll be able to face brand new enemies in the Cathedra Cliffs while partying out to tackle the brand new Throne of Oblivion raid. New legendary weapons and accessories will be made available along with the addition of some new game systems that will supposedly enhance your experience in Blade & Soul even further. Now this one's a little unusual. See, we finally have some new news on Chronicles of Elyria. It has been a long while, but the team behind the game have decided to release a 10-minute long pre-alpha gameplay video showcasing the game and some of the features found throughout. Now, from what I have seen personally here, fans are increasingly upset by what they've seen, going as far as stating that the game is just ugly. That the developers are idiots for showing the footage off because it just gives off the impression that indie developers can't make good-looking MMOs. And I don't know about you guys, but honestly, I think the player base might be overreacting just a little bit, as this is a mere pre-alpha build and these graphics are nowhere near being in a complete state yet. But I do have to question what made the devs think that this was a good idea, especially now that they've seen all of this backlash. Before I get into this one, I do want to let you all know that I am holding a giveaway for Astellia completely on my own, not sponsored in any capacity. If you want to participate in this giveaway, all you need to do is follow the link to my website, mmobyte.tv, via the link that will be included both in the description and the pinned comment, and enter using the methods supplied. Now, if you weren't already aware, then Astellia Online is launching on September 27th. That's just 2 weeks away. The game will be completely buy-to-play, beginning at $40 per copy of the game, but to play Astellia, you're going to be required to pay that single one-time fee. However, last week, the team behind the game opened up a brand new way of playing, a subscription. See, players are capable of paying $10 per month to play the game without purchasing the initial copy, meaning that instead of wasting over $40 and then soon learning you don't enjoy it, you can pay $10 for the sub and then cancel it within the month if you don't find enjoyment out of the game. But if you do happen to enjoy it, then you'll end up needing to purchase the game regardless by upgrading to the full package. Finally, and do note here that before you continue, this is concerning the Russian version of Lost Ark, not the English version or the South Korean version. That being said, alpha testing for Lost Ark was held earlier this month from the 4th until the 9th of September. Players reported that the game functioned smoothly without any major issues present. People playing out of Europe noticed a much better ping than when they played the South Korean version of the game. However, I couldn't really find any mention of people playing out of North America. One thing worth noting about the game, and this is what I'm sure most of you are here for, is that closed beta for the Russian version will be announced this coming Tuesday, the 17th of September, with a release expected sometime at the end of this year, if not the beginning of next year. So this is great news for people playing out of Europe, or even for people that want a different version of the game to play other than the South Korean version. Unfortunately, there's still no news as to whether we're going to get Lost Ark over here in the West, or even when we're going to get Lost Ark over here in the West. But, you know, news is news. And that covers the majority of MMO-related news that I was made aware of over the last week. If you know of anything that I missed, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or Instagram with a link to the article so I can talk about it. Anyway, guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.